trying to draw me out.
Sound design is often overlooked, especially on indie projects. But if you really think about it, it's 50% of the experience. So it'd be a very silly thing to overlook. I mean, just imagine Star Wars without its iconic sounds, without having, you know, the sounds of the lightsabers, the sounds of the blasters. The sound design of Star Wars is just as important. So likewise, with Mercury Man, we really set our goal to really have a unique and iconic sound design.
What's most unique about Mercury Man is you're dealing with something, I mean, obviously Chris has got a very defined and purposeful vision of what the Mercury Men and the invaders and they all sound like. But you're dealing with essentially something that has never really existed before. We don't really have much to draw on other than Chris's vision and what he thinks it should sound like. That's really a good thing, to be honest with you, because we're not essentially trying to match anything else, but at the same time, we're trying to invent something brand new.
There's lots of objects and items and sounds in it that we don't have a real-world reference for. So you really have to imagine, what would this thing sound for, and then go out looking for it. Because you never know what sound's going to fit. You know, a coffee grinder could be if it's tweaked the right way and combined with other sounds, could be a starship engine. You know, for Jack's orbital projector, we use sounds of a camera, old cameras, and a flash bulb warming up.
Lightning's hitting walls or it's hitting the ground. And, so we'll be using car crash sound effects even to make that sound of impact and then debris shattering everywhere.
The invaders specifically, we knew with these glowing creatures and them shooting lightning that we wanted some type of electrical sound to be the main element. So it went a long time going through sounds of transformer, generators, you know, wires, power lines, these kind of things that would give us that sound, the hum of the invaders. So you're really gonna find some really unique things from the unlikeliest of places. Today for the Mercury Men, we're doing ADR, which stands for Automated Dialogue Replacement, or looping, or just even dialogue dubbing. To call it automated is kind of silly because there's nothing automated about it. But what ADR is a lot of times on set, you're filming in locations where you can't get the best sound. A lot of times on Mercury Men, we were filming in a parking garage, a warehouse, some noisy locations. You can't get a clean audio recording. So what we do is we bring the actors into the sound studio and they have to dub their own voices. They have to dub their dialogue over top of the picture. Sometimes this is as difficult as having them have to match whole phrases.
Stay with me, Glenn. Come on, reach for my hand.
Other times it's a bit easier. Other times it's just doing fight noises, grunts, breathing.
Ah! Oh! Huh!
Or in our case, getting hit by lightning. One of the challenges with ADR is that for an actor, they can be on set and they have these things to help them get in the emotion and character of the scene. They have the location itself, the props, the costume, and they spend a good deal getting in the emotion and getting in the mood and the feeling for the scene.
Well, initially, I think an actor gets into the studio booth and has to do ADR. It's really hard sometimes to get back to the emotional level you were on set with another actor.
They're forced to stand still in front of a mic in a small, isolated room, and they have to try and get back into that same emotion they did weeks earlier.
And in that sense, you really have to build that emotion up, and in the same time, you're trying to sync your lines with what you're seeing on TV. And it's really, I mean, initially, that's a very hard thing to do. I think the more and more you do it, the easier and easier it gets.
So you try and limit as much ADR as you possibly can.
Like a bumper? Mercury Man will be right back. Stay with us.